Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the best desserts that you will probably ever have. Do you absolutely love currants roll or even love cinnamon roll? Then you're going to love this recipe. It's the perfect combination of both of them, just wrapped into the softest, fluffiest, pillowest bun ever. Let's go ahead and get started. Into my little cup here, I have a half a cup of warm water, and to that I'm going to go ahead and add in a teaspoon of granulated sugar and then 1 packet of yeast, 1/4 ounce packet of yeast. I'm going to go ahead and give that a mix and set that aside so the yeast can become nice and activated and frothy and ready to go. Now for our dry ingredients, we're going to need 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1/8 of a cup of granulated sugar, as well as a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go ahead and mix our dry ingredients together. Just go ahead and mix our dry ingredients together, and then we're going to add in our yeast and water into the bowl. Then we're going to go ahead and add in 1/4 cup of unsalted butter that has been melted, as well as a teaspoon of vanilla extract. To that, we're going to go ahead and add in 1 large egg. I'm going to use my spoon here and just start to break up my egg by mixing in the wet ingredients together and slowly start to incorporate the dry ingredients into the wet. Just to literally just bring everything together. To just give that a stir and mix. And once everything starts to come together, we're going to plop this onto our clean surface here, and we're going to go ahead and knead this. Now, as with all my doughs, I'm going to start off by bringing in my dough together with all of the ingredients, the flour and everything. We just want to bring it all in together as one. And once it's mostly come together, we're going to use the back of our wrist, by our palm, the back of our wrist here, and we're going to go ahead and start into the center of the dough. We're going to push out gently on it, bring it back in, and turn. So bring in any extra flour that you have to and continue kneading this for about 5 to 8 minutes. Now this is a really soft dough. So you can see here I'm moving as I'm kneading. I'm going really briskly and we're going kind of fast because it's a super soft and fluffy dough. Just go ahead and knead it really quickly and press very gently on it when you're kneading it and pull it back quickly and just continue doing that for about 5 to 8 minutes. Now into my bowl here, I have sprayed some nonstick cooking spray. I'm going to place my dough in it and turn it around to make sure all sides are coated with the nonstick cooking spray. I'm going to cover it with cling wrap and or a towel and let it rise for about an hour or so. Into my bowl here, we're going to need 1/4 cup of unsalted butter that has been melted and cooled, and to that I'm going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar, as well as 1/8 of a cup of granulated sugar. We're also going to need 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon. So I'm just going to mix together my sugar and my butter here, and then we're just going to go ahead and add in our 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon. Now you can see that my mixture is really thick, and that's what we're looking for. It's a really thick, sugary mixture. So adding in my cinnamon. Give that a nice mix and it becomes really dark and just thick. It's going to be amazing. This is such a good dessert. It's sad to say though, and I am warning you, they are addictive. So we did finish almost pretty much all of it in one day. It's pretty sad, but it's so good. So after my dough has more than doubled in size, I gave it about a nice hour or so it's really nice and puffed up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plop this onto my surface that I have just sprinkled 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour on my surface, and I'm just going to plop my dough on. Now I'm going to start off by using my hands here just to make this kind of like into a rectangle shape as best as I can. Now this is homemade, it's not supposed to be perfect. I think that's the beauty of homemade as well. So as much as I can get into a rectangle, then I'm going to take my rolling pin and we're going to roll this out until it's about 1/4 inch thick. Again, does not really have to be perfect. So just roll it out as best as you can until it's about 1/4 inch thick. And And then after we've done that, we're going to go ahead and put on our sugars and butter mixture that is really thick and is just amazing. We're just going to spread that gently onto our dough. You don't want to press too hard on it here because you can kind of tear the dough, so just be a little bit gentle with it and just go ahead and put all of that on there and spread it out as even and as best as you can. And I'm leaving a little tiny border, about maybe a quarter to an eighth of an inch of a border, because I don't want it to be oozing out too much when I'm cutting this. So just continue spreading this all around the dough. And then we're going to go ahead and add in our currants. Now, if you don't have currants, go ahead and use raisins, but the currants has a slight little tanginess to it, this tartness to it, and it just is perfect in this. And my goodness, I just can't even describe it. It's just so good. So I'm going to go ahead and add in about a 3/4 cup of currants to this. Just sprinkle it all around. And then we're going to go ahead and roll this up into a log. Starting on the side that is closest to me here, I'm just going to roll it up. Just like so. And then we're going to make sure and pinch and seal the edges. And then I'm going to tuck it in as well, tuck it down to the bottom. Do the other side the same. And then we're also going to make sure and pinch and seal the bottom, just like so. And now you can get about 10 to 12 depending on how big you cut these. So I'm going to go ahead and get a knife, and I'm also going to have a baking tray that I have lined with parchment paper. You can also use one of those Pyrex dishes and just spray it with nonstick cooking spray. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my roll here in half, and you can, like I said, you can get 10 out of these if you cut them 4 times, or if you cut them 5 times like I'm doing in this one here, you will get 12. And of course, if they're bigger, their baking time is going to take longer. So I'm going to place these on my baking tray about an inch away from each other, because when they rise, I want them to be puffed up and close together. So I've got my buns here all laid out on my tray. I'm going to cover these back up with cling wrap and place them back in that nice warm area till they're doubled in size for about 30 to 45 minutes or so. And after that time, as they're beautiful and puffed up, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and remove my cling wrap and place these in the oven to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. You want to check on them about 30 minutes or so, depending on your oven. In my bowl here, I have 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, and to that I'm going to go ahead and add in 1.5 tablespoons of milk. I'm going to give that a nice mix around, and what we're looking for is a nice thick glaze for this. So give that a nice mix, make sure all that powdered sugar and milk is incorporated together. And also, we're also going to need 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to go ahead and mix that together. Now, after about 30 minutes, these beautiful little buns have come out of the oven, and I am telling you, your house is going to smell so good. These are so amazing. After they've come out of the oven, I'm going to let them cool for about 10 minutes before I start drizzling on my beautiful glaze on these buns. Just drizzle them on. You can use a knife, a spatula, or you could just use a spoon like I'm doing here. So after I've let them cool for about 10 minutes, then I'm going to put on my beautiful glaze. And after I have finished glazing them all with that nice thick and sweet glaze, we're going to go ahead and top them off with a little bit of that cinnamon sugar mixture that we made. And we're going to go ahead and just sprinkle on some of that on top of each bun. So they've got the perfect mixture of a cinnamon roll and a currants roll combined together is a cloud of perfection. These are so soft, they're fluffy, and they're super, super delicious. They're not too sweet, they've got a little bit of tartness from the currants. They are mouth-watering good. I hope that you guys enjoy this recipe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do feel really blessed and grateful that I can come up with recipes like this for my family, because they enjoy them and I enjoy them as well. And I hope that you guys enjoy them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do give these a try, because I'm telling you, they are like a cloud of perfection. The dough is so soft and fluffy and pillowy and just so good. I hope that you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you've tried them and if you've enjoyed them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.